Hello, guys. Welcome back. If you were here last week, then you know that today is part 2. We're talking about fathers in our life group series for the Kingdom Families, a series that we've been teaching into here at Church Life. So I'm hoping that you guys are with your life groups right now, or certainly with your family as you're watching this. And let's continue this conversation about fathers. And I really hope that God will indeed bless us, teach us. Let's learn, grow, and have healthy relationships with our fathers. But again, today I'm not alone. I'm here with two very amazing individuals, certainly in the life of our church and this family here at Church Life. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, and then we'll get down today. Before you go, by the way, guys, as a general rule of thumb, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we're talking about fathers, everybody's going to be subjected to some dad jokes.
Okay.
Okay. You guys ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
Ready.
Well, introduce yourself first, and then we'll get on with the show today.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I run Twist here at Church Alive.
And I'm Jaken, and I run youth here at Church Alive.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Jaken. So, guys, we're going to do this very simple. I've got a few questions that I want to share with you guys, and just answer from the heart. You know, share whatever experiences that you have. And really, the goal of this is I know for certain that people that are on the other side of this camera are finding themselves in all different kinds of places in terms of relationships with their fathers. I mean, last week you looked at some challenging aspects of their fathers, but this week I actually want to jump into maybe some positive experiences that we can have with fathers. And I'm hoping that somebody's watching this and looking forward to being a father, or perhaps hoping to improve in their relationship with their children, or that somebody can be more hopeful for their relationship with their father. So I'm really trusting that God will use this conversation to bless somebody. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Jesus Christ, obviously his dad is God the Father.
Serious, bro? What?
Right?
I didn't know that.
That's right.
Hey.
I actually used that joke again from last week, but it's too good to not use. Anyway, so Jesus has his dad, right? And I don't know if in your personal lives you guys have had any sort of rite of passage type of ritual into like, I don't know, maybe something that you've done with your dad or a figure of that sort. Now with Jesus Christ, he had something similar. And I don't know if you guys were aware of this, was his baptism. In fact, if you go back and you read about Jesus Christ's baptism, you realize that was actually a very significant moment in his relationship with his father, because his father affirmed him. In fact, he goes on to say, like, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. And that's how God chose to set him up for his ministry. So have you guys had any sort of rite of passage type rituals or rhythms that you've done as a family? I don't know who would want to go first. You
want to go first?
Yeah, I can.
Ladies first.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I don't think they necessarily, as a family, intended for this to be my rite of passage, but it was actually learning to drive, is what I would say. It was just that crucial step of me taking initiative towards becoming a bit more independent. I'm so grateful that I can live with my family, but I needed to start doing things on my own and making my own plans to get places. And it was a struggle. I don't know what it is. Driving just did not click in my brain. It took me a really long time. There was a lot of tears, a lot of like frustrating moments, but throughout that, my dad was a constant in that. He took me for my very first driving lessons. He talked me through when I got really scared about almost crashing. And so I would say that was probably what I would classify as like a rite of passage for me.
That's really powerful. It sounds like it accelerated your relationship.
Okay, you had to. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, okay, now that I've broken the ice. Just out of interest sake, it happened then when you were learning. Do you guys still share moments where you drive together? This is you and your dad today? And what is that like? If you do, what is that like today?
Not as much, but we do sometimes. I think it's interesting. being in a space where I was the one taking control of the wheel for a bit and having him in the passenger seat, because I was so used to having him be the one driving me places, and I would feel a lot more secure when he was driving me places. And so when I get in the car with him, almost that feeling, like it automatically comes into like, I don't worry about anything, I'm not stressing about anything, I just feel secure. Yeah.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
Mr. Jacob.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about my driving experience, eh? Yeah, my dad did not drive with me, bro.
Did you drive him crazy?
Yeah. Why are you so on point, dog? I'm supposed to be the dad jokes guy, dog, right? I think a good rites of passage for me, and I've had quite a few different ones, but one of the biggest ones was I went on a scouts camp called the Patrol Leader Training Unit. Okay. And so basically what they do is, so within a scouts group, you've got different patrols that each do their own thing just to organize the group. And so what they do is they take out potential leaders and they send them away for 10 days to go to this camp. And so they teach you different leadership skills, and they put you through the ringer. They put you through some serious physical and mental and emotional challenges. And at the end of that, we have a closing ceremony where they bring the parents and they bring all your patrol members from your scout troop there to come and watch you, and you'll perform something, and they'll basically just honor you in front of everyone to say that, hey, look, you made it. Because the thing is this, not everyone who started the PLTU camp made it out of the PLTU camp because it is so intense and it's so physically demanding on you. And so in that moment when you get to be honored in front of everyone, and we also get given shirts. I mean, I've got it literally there in my bag. I love that shirt. That was quite an awesome moment for me, because it represented not just to my patrol that I'm now a leader, but to my family, to say that this guy can do the most, whatever it is, if it's physical, emotional, mental, he's willing to set aside his own comfort in order to lead other people. And so that was a really good moment for me.
That's really, really powerful, and I imagine that it sets you up for where you are right now and
Definitely.
all the areas that you're growing in. Now, guys, I want to ask you a very interesting question. Let me premise it by saying this. So this is quite profound that when Jesus is having his own rite of passage, like it's very profound if you listen to what God says about him, right? In front of everybody who's present. Yeah. He could have said anything. He could have focused on anything, right? Like, but he chooses to zoom in on his identity. Well, because his words are, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. So he speaks to his identity and speaks to the nature of relationship between the two of them. Yet this is at a time where he's setting up for ministry, almost unlocking his journey into purpose. So for me, it begs the question, how important would you guys say it is for us to almost have a sense of identity, like who am I and whose am I as we pursue purpose? Is it something that's been meaningful for you? And do you think it's meaningful for somebody who's watching this? Like, would you actually say to them, actually knowing who we are and whose we are is vital in our pursuit of purpose? What would you guys say to that?
I mean, just thinking back to that Patrol Leader Training Unit moment is that, like I said, we went through this as leaders, like from different scout troops from all around South Africa. It was us. But then the moment when they bring my patrol from my troop over there to acknowledge me was really significant, because in their eyes, they now view me as this person, as a leader. And in my eyes, I now view them as my team, as my patrol that I need to lead. And all of a sudden, it awakened this mindset in me that I'm other conscious. I'm aware of how are they feeling, what are they going through, are they able to do what I'm asking them to do? And that other consciousness with them being around, that's really what I thought about, is that it made me think about them, no longer just about my own
That's really
things.
powerful. So it is very necessary.
Because if you don't know whose you are and who you're supposed to be with, who are you leading? Who are you? What what are you supposed to do?
It speaks to that sense of direction. That's really profound. Sarah?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think looking back at driving, for me, I found it a very scary and kind of confusing process sometimes. I have to be honest. It just was that for me. And I feel like sometimes when you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, it's scary and it's confusing. And so being in a space where you have someone that you know is in your corner, because you know that you have someone who's rooting for you or supporting you, like my dad was for me. So knowing whose you are and whose you belong to, what they say about you, can often help you kind of just push through those moments that are scary or are confusing. So I think it's really important to know whose you are.
Whatever you do, bro, do it on purpose.
Yes, that's very, very powerful. And I mean, I would say to anybody who's watching this, my significant other always says to me, that you always try to provide solutions, and sometimes we don't need solutions. We just need affirmation.
That's exactly it. Yes.
And I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? That's the silliest thing
I'm with you now.
I've ever heard in my life.
support
Like,
that.
what?
Yeah.
Everyone needs
Wise words.
solutions. But I think, I mean, on a serious note, I think that's a powerful thing to consider. And so if you are in a position where you almost lead somebody, whether you are a father or just a leader, consider that. Consider that actually affirming people's identity, helping them to know who they are and whose they are. The fact that they belong before they ever have to behave is so critical in them staying the path, in finding out exactly what God has called them to do and who they need to be.
Yeah.
I even have one other thought, knowing whose you are. Every single person, whether you know it or not, is a leader.
Yeah.
You are leading someone, whether it's your friend, whether it's your sibling, whether you're leading someone. And if you're not aware of who you're leading, you're going to do a bad job. And so knowing whose you are is super important, because you might be leading them in the wrong direction, not knowing that they're following you.
Yeah, that's...
And actually, I like what you were saying, sorry, about like the affirming thing. I think that's what I felt for me. I would often come home from a practice driving lesson and be so upset and be like, I did this wrong and I did this wrong. And my dad would say, no, I'm proud of you because you did this right. And although it was like a small thing, just knowing that like he was proud of me and that like him affirming what I'd done was really helpful. So yeah, I agree with you. If you're a dad or someone who's wanting to be in a leadership space, I think affirming people's identities is huge.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Now, real quick fire. Okay, I'm going to make you guys just name as many people as you can in like 15 seconds.
Okay.
Who do you tend to seek approval from? I'll make it 10 seconds. Jacob.
Bro, I have one name on the list. Actually, no, I have...
No, name all of them in 10
Name
seconds.
all of them.
I'm counting you down. Let's
Okay,
go.
first I seek your approval.
Let's go.
I seek my father's approval. I seek my uncle Rion's approval. I seek the approval of my mother. I seek the approval of... I seek the approval of the people that are following me, whoever that is, my youth group specifically. If they disapprove of what I'm doing, I'm feeling like I'm doing something wrong.
1-0. Powerful. Thank you. We'll get back to it. Okay, Sarah, are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
In 10 seconds, who do you seek approval from? Let's go.
I would say definitely I seek approval from you. I would say probably from both my parents, my mom and my dad. I definitely seek approval from my sister. And I would say generally people that are leading me, I often seek approval from like Pastor D and I would say even Janie and just people I consider leaders, I'm seeking approval from.
Awesome. You actually killed it and very good. I have a joke for you.
Yeah.
What do you say to your teacher when you want a bad mark? Pass the D. Anyway, okay, so get it?
I got it.
Let's go. Okay, cool. I mean, listen, let's be real for a moment. We all seek approval. It almost feels like we need it. Like it seems sometimes like it's this light in darkness that helps us know that, I'm heading the right way. So I want to ask you guys, what makes you seek approval from the people that you seek approval from? I know that's such a profound question, but...
I get this question a lot, actually. I really love pleasing people. You know, you classify it as like a people pleaser. That's what people would say. I've got that description from a lot of people. And so, and kind of like paired with that is the fact that I don't want to let people down. So I want to be like helping them and doing everything I can to please them because I don't want to let them down. And then that kind of spills over into trying to get their approval as part of not letting them down.
Sheesh.
I think for me, in my life, I've made many mistakes. And all of the mistakes I made on my own. And so that's why I constantly seek for others' approval, because I need to know if what I'm doing is just my own personal opinion or if it's actually a valid action to be taking. Because I need someone else to reaffirm that, to say that this is actually something good. Yeah, you might believe it is, but actually all of us here don't think it is. Stay away from that because it can be dangerous.
Yeah, and I think, I didn't ask myself this question, but I'll answer it anyway.
Tell us.
For me, it's as simple as, I just want to be loved. Right? Like,
I get that.
If I order a pair of shoes, not that I'm a pair of shoes, but like if I order a pair of shoes and I love them, I give all the signs and signals of approval. If I don't, I never wear them. I never, I forget where I've placed them. And I think it's the same. I think that's certainly for me, that's the desire, to feel like I have people's approval feels sometimes like they love me. I know that they love me. They want to be with me. I'm not hidden somewhere, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Here's my question to you, if you're listening to this. Who do you seek approval from? And why do you seek approval? Let's be honest, sometimes it can be unhealthy.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that there are healthy reasons for us to pursue approval. I actually believe it's a God design. Like Jesus could have been like, as he saw that dove descending, he could have been like, whoa, press pause. I actually don't need this. I'm good. Like I'm flawless. I'm sinless. I'm good. He didn't. He was open and he was receptive.
What are you doing, God?
Yeah, like he was.
Oh, we appreciate you.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, you dropped it. Like,
I had to throw one in, dog. You've been dropping singers all day.
Yeah, so Jesus needed approval.
Yeah.
And we do too.
That's actually so cool.
Right. So let me ask you this question as I get ready to just wrap up. Like, how much does success mean to you in terms of being loved? How important is it to you?
I mean, I want to answer with the question, how do you define success?
Well, you, according to you?
For me, success would mean a happy and healthy community.
Okay.
Whether I have financial stability or not, I've traveled on missions.
Well, we hope there's financial stability.
Yeah, we pray for that. Don't get me wrong.
Let's just clarify that, God.
Thank you, Lord.
A happy and healthy community around me makes me feel like I've done something successful because I've built meaningful relationships with people. Because, as much as financial stability is important, money is temporary. Money comes and goes today and tomorrow, but a relationship with a person can last forever. And so that's why I would say looking for that success there is... It's important,
Feeling that sense of
feeling
belonging,
that sense
love,
of belonging. That's exactly what it is. I belong somewhere. I belong with someone.
That's powerful. I love that. Sarah?
I think it's such an interesting question because I feel like a lot of times you don't necessarily relate the word success to feeling loved. You wouldn't say, okay, I'm successful if I feel loved. But when I think about it, actually, when I describe how I want my life to be very similar, like I want to be surrounded by a community that is loving me and that I'm loving them, I do view that as successful. So I think I would say that feeling love is very valuable to me if that's how I'm going to define success. Yeah.
Well, I'd like for us to end it on a more mellow tone.
Okay.
Right.
So we're going to get mushy.
You ready?
Yeah, well, let's hope. You never know. Let's hope. But I want to give you guys 30 seconds. Look at the screen. If there's anybody that you would just like to take a moment to honor, maybe your own fathers, father figures. You have 30 seconds. Sarah, you can go first.
Okay.
Anything you want to say to them? Now's your time.
Dad, you might not know this, but I'm just grateful for the example of what a man and a husband should be that you've shown me. You are so patient and you always respond with calm when I'm freaking out, and your words of wisdom and encouragement are things that I really do just cherish and things that I genuinely remember in all the different kind of situations I've been in. So thank you for being a great dad to me.
I think, I would shout out my own dad, but he knows too much. It's not you may not know this, he knows already.
I love that.
I do want to give a shout out to Ilan Kent. You may not know this, but I see what you're doing. I follow you on Instagram. I see you at church. I see you with your family. And just seeing, it was a silly thing. I saw you taking care of a beehive. And for those of you who know, I have my own beekeeping company now. And just seeing you doing simple manly things around the house and being this authoritative dad figure to your family has really inspired me to say that, hey, my dad might not keep bees, but that doesn't mean dads don't keep bees. You know what I'm saying? So just shout out to Uncle Ilan. Showing us what a man looks like, showing us what a dad looks like. I appreciate that.
I think it's safe to say that you be keeping your company going.
That's your job for that one. That's it.
I shouldn't have been laughing, but it's good.
Yeah, and from my end, I would definitely say to my dad, you may not know this, but geez, you're an amazing guy. You're pretty wise. We look similar, which means you're the second most good-looking guy that I know.
After Jacob.
No, but on a serious note, you're wise. And I just appreciate your patience with people, pouring into people's lives. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. I want to have more kids, but I want to be just like you. I love you very, very, very much. Guys, thank you. Well, in fact, before I say thank you, I actually want to say this. And thank you to all the fathers and father figures out there, Pastor Jay, all the leaders here at Church Alive. Seriously, we would not be who we are without you guys. And we're representative of so many other people. And so we love you guys and we appreciate you guys, even if it doesn't always feel that way. I want to challenge you guys. After this, take some time. There'll be some questions up. Let's get real. Let's share some of our experiences. I hope you guys have been blessed by this 2-part series within the series, as Pastor Jay explained it. And that, like, God will help us grow in our relationships with our fathers, father figures. That for those of us that are father figures or like older sisters or mother figures, if you will. I don't even know why I said father figures. Like
These are actual dads.
But in any context where we lead, that God would really step into those spaces and help us to be better at it, to be more loving and more impactful. Hope you guys are blessed for the rest of this week. Until I see you next time. Be blessed. Thank you guys for joining me so much. It's been an amazing conversation. God bless you guys.
We're going to steal Pastor Jay's line, bro.
All right, are we ready?
Love you madly. Go in peace.